What's up, guys? We are here in Jacob's new shop, Jacob Biddle, Eagles Overlanding. We've got another project that we're working on. This has been a day full of projects. I think I've said before, a couple of the videos that you've seen released, these were all shot at the same time, the same day. We've just been at it all day, and we still got a lot to go. But what we're working on right now is welding gussets from DRT Fab onto my factory spindles. Spindles are one of those weak points. When you off-road, you will. A lot of guys can break them over time. And so this just gives it a little bit more beef, and hopefully means that I won't have to repair this on the trail maybe as frequently as I otherwise would. You can buy this pre-welded from DRT Fab if you want to, but it just so happens that I have friends that weld that were willing to help me out, and so that's what we're doing. So let's check this out. All right, spindle number one is done. I say it's done. We're still gonna paint it and then obviously put it on, but it's looking really good. So much beefier than the factory one. Chase from Curtis Automotive is actually on his way up here right now. We had a little difficulty with our ball joint press, and so I just called him to ask him how to do it, and he's like, dude, I'm only a couple hours away. Let me just come over there and help out. So once again, him being an absolutely awesome guy, he's on his way up here to help us. And so we'll finish this, we'll meet up with him, then we're gonna go back, try to get it all assembled before it gets too dark. One really important question, down in the comments below, let me know, you guys think this hat is good, yay or nay? I personally think it's one of the best stylistic choices that I've ever made. Y'all let me know what you think. I think it's awesome. Jacob, what do you think about my hat? I don't think he likes it. Back in the studio, I wanted to take a minute and talk to you a little bit about some of the mods that we just did. Some of the footage I didn't capture here at the end of the video, and I think it's important to let you guys know what went down and what we learned. Okay, so let's start with the bearings that we pressed in. That part was not super hard. You can actually rent a bearing press from AutoZone for free, which I didn't know. And then you can take that deal and put it in there. We had a little bit of issues, but we had Chase to come and help us finish out. And I think with some elbow grease in YouTube, we could have done it on our own, but definitely not going to turn down an actual mechanic coming to help us. So that went great. Those are installed working perfectly. Let's talk about the gussets. As we got into it and we installed it, we ran into a little bit of a problem when we were reassembling, and this was totally my fault. They clearly state this on their website, and I just missed it. The gussets that DRT makes to weld onto your spindle are not intended to be used with your sway bar. So these are going to be just for people that have done a sway bar delete. The sway bar pin, where it feeds through the spindle, it can't fit once you weld those gussets on there. So I had kind of a tough decision to make. Either we cut the gussets off of the spindle and kept it all back intact, or I could do a sway bar delete, which I really didn't want to do. You know, I don't have an adjustable suspension. Most of the guys that do a sway bar delete actually do have an adjustable suspension, so they can tighten that up when they're just doing highway stuff, and then off-road they can loosen it up, get the benefit of that additional travel. I haven't done that, and I don't intend to do that for a while, so I really did not want to lose my sway bar. But I also didn't want to cut off the gussets after we had done all that work. So the decision that we ended up making was to cut a section of the gusset out, which of course removes all the strength from it initially. We cut a section of the gusset out to allow the sway bar pin to feed through the spindle. Then we placed a small piece of metal above the cut where we removed part of the gusset and below, so that would elevate a third piece of metal that could then bring back the structural integrity of the gusset with allowing some additional clearance for the spindle, or for the sway bar pin in the spindle. Now, this works and it's strong and I still have my sway bar, but I'm going to be honest with you, it's pretty ugly. All the beautiful welding that Jacob had done earlier was gone and out the window because we had to squint weld. It was super late, just some rough metal, and quickly kind of paint over it and throw it on. But functionally, we have the strength. Sway bar is connected. All this lives behind my tire and wheel anyway, so you're not going to really see it. You know, I would have liked it to be nice and pretty, but that's on me for not fully reading it. And so it is what it is. So the reason that I want to make this part of the video here at the end, if you guys are thinking about doing this mod, just make sure you fully read. If you're going to keep your sway bar intact, then find a company that makes a gusset that will work with that. I don't believe DRT does. And if you've already done a delete, then this is a mute issue. Okay, so right now, as we're wrapping up, I just want to say something really quick. A few of you have reached out to me and asked, when are we getting back to the adventure videos? I've dropped a whole bunch of install and repair videos, and some of you guys are wondering, like, when are we getting back to my main stuff? Trust me, I want to get back to that too. These videos have been important steps, and I wanted to document them, but these aren't my favorite ones to make. The ones that I love making are coming soon. In fact, if you look over my shoulder, let me pull the focus for you. You see that? I won't hold it too long. That is a project I'm working on that I'm very excited about. Been working on it for a couple weeks now. Probably my most involved project I've ever done. We've got about another week of shooting and editing, and then I'm hoping to drop it this next week. So we're looking at right now, today is Friday the 11th. So I'm hoping by next Friday, I'll have the next video loosely titled Facing Fear. And I'm excited about that. So don't try to analyze the timeline too much. It's coming, I promise. Appreciate you guys watching this as always. Like, subscribe, comment, do all that stuff. And remember, the more you camp, the less deer the aliens abduct.